Peace. What's going on, everybody? Give everybody a chance to tune on in before I dive into the topic for today. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful Monday thus far. Being positive, staying productive, getting things done, accomplishing the goals, whatever those the goals may be. Starting the week off right and exact, because that's how we like to start the week off. That's how we must start the week off, right and exact. There's no other way to start it off. We started off on a good note. Building and destroying, like we say. Like the theme of this whole show, we build on the positive, destroy the negatives. We do that on a day-to-day basis, a minute-to-minute basis. Magic Realms, peace. What's going on? Eli, Terenzo, peace. How y'all living? How y'all living, man? How y'all maintaining? D, peace. What's going on with you? How you holding up? Seville, peace. What's going on with you? Hopefully everybody is doing very positive, man, on this Monday. Emmanuel Briggs, peace. What's going on? James Brown, JB. How y'all living? It's only one way to live, man, and that's just powerful. We living powerfully around here, man. We understand the power that we possess, and we manifest that power on a daily basis, on a day-to-day basis. Most definitely, Terenzo, take me back to my days where I worked at the bank. Seville, there you go, feeling renewed. Now it's time to do something with that renewed energy. Got to put it to good use. So we feeling renewed. Now we got to do something with that renewed energy. Put it to good use. That's what we must do. Channel that energy in the proper direction. So take advantage of that feeling. Take advantage of that energy. You feeling renewed? Do something powerful. Do something positive. Do something productive with that renewed energy. CCH, peace. What's going on? Give y'all some more time, man. Just let everybody enter the chat room before we really start building, so people won't miss the bulk of what we got to talk about, man. It's real simple today. Going back to my 5% lingo, we always talk about being pro-righteousness, anti-devilishment. A lot of people, when they hear the type of stuff that we talk about, hear some of our ideologies and things of that nature, a lot of people from the outside looking in feel as if we are pro-black, anti-white type deal. And I'm talking about the 5% nation of gods and earths that is. Jamar, peace, what's going on? So a lot of people hear us talk about black man being a god, black woman is earth, white man is the devil, and they think that we are saying that in an anti-white manner and a pro-black manner. Nope, you will find it right in our lessons where we talk about we are pro-righteousness, anti-devilishment. We are not pro-black, we are not anti-white, but a lot of people can't understand that when they first get wind of our teachings and our lessons. And it's real simple. It's real simple to break that down. When you hear us talk about white man being the devil, we are speaking on in a historical context when we say that. I mean, we just studying history and we studying. And when we break down the word devil, like I've talked about, that means deceiver. So we basically studying our history and we seeing who was the main deceiver of our people. You're going to come across that white man. That's what we mean. That's why we teach that. Don't necessarily mean we're going to look at all white folks and we hate them based off of that teaching. So a lot of people can't understand that. We looking at it from a historical perspective. And then when we talk about the original man, again, historical. Let's trace your history. You're going to see that we are the original man. We are the original women of the planet Earth. Denise, peace, what's going on? Everything came from us. So when we talk about being the supreme beings, being the original man and woman, that is what we are talking about. Us being the origin of everything in existence. Even when you get down to our lessons, we talk about how a big head scientist, if y'all know the story about Yakub, basically manufactured the devil. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Got to grab something. All right, y'all. We back. Had a slight interruption, man, but we back. Finna pick back up where we left off. Oh yeah, magic rims. Yeah, we talking about the elites, and we break everything down on that percentage basis. So we got the 5% that know the truth. We got the 85% that are easily led in the wrong direction. So we dealing with the masses when we talk about the 85%, and then we got the 10%, which we call the bloodsuckers of the poor. Basically, the ones that manipulate that 85%. Y'all would call them the 1%, but we call them the 10%, the bloodsuckers of the poor. That's what we refer to them as. Naeem, peace, what's going on? That's what we refer to them as. And then, like I said, we basically studying characteristic traits when we talk about that white man, when we talk about his history, we just study his personality traits, his characteristic traits, historically speaking. Anywhere in history that you go and you find this European, you're going to find a lot of bloodshed. You're going to find a lot of wickedness. You're going to find a lot of chaos and destruction. It's not me talking about racism. It's not me spitting racism. It's not me being racist. It's me stating historical facts. That's just a fact in and of itself. But like I said, even on top of that, we not prejudging that white man. Like, of course, we going to judge a man based off of his ways and actions. And that's what we mean by anti-devilishment. So you can be black and still partake in devilishment. And a lot of people don't understand that. So that's why we say we not necessarily pro-black and anti-white. So you can be black and still partake or participate in anti-devilishment. And we have a lot of that's going on. We have a lot of black individuals that are not in tune with their true nature. So again, they act anti-nature. So they anti-self. So that's why you see a lot of destruction, because again, these brothers, these sisters are not in tune with their true nature, not in tune with themselves. So again, they going against nature. They going against the true nature of themselves. Then that may lead to some devilishment, wickedness, chaos, and things of that nature. So you have a lot of black people that partake in that devilishment. Like they say, the worst devil is a black one. Nick, peace, what's going on with you? And most definitely, everything is definitely positive my way. Most definitely. So yeah, at the end of the day, we got to understand what it means to basically be righteous. We got to understand what righteousness means. A lot of people think when we talk about righteousness, when we talk about being righteous, we talking about somebody who's perfect, somebody who can't make any mistakes, somebody that is not subject to any type of error. That's not what being righteous means. Man, righteous can just simply mean being accountable. So being righteous is not somebody who is perfect, who can't make mistakes, who views themselves higher than everybody else. No, a righteous person is one that says, all right, I did that, but I shouldn't have moved like that. So then I'm gonna analyze my ways and actions. So therefore, I'm gonna analyze and examine my ways and actions when I make the mistake or commit the error. So therefore I can prevent doing the same thing the next time I do something that's similar to that. So that's just being accountable. That's being accountable, man. It's being able to assess yourself and say, all right, I got this flaw, so I'm gonna work on that. I got this weakness, I'm gonna work on that. That's what being righteous is all about. That's what being righteous is all about, man. It's being able to be honest with yourself. Like, honesty is big, man. So you got to learn how to be honest with yourself, man. You got to be honest with yourself. You got to be truthful to yourself. If you're not honest with yourself, why would you expect everyone else to be? Amber, peace, what's going on? Tavon, peace, what's going on? Oh, Magic, most definitely. Being righteous is definitely staying centered. And a lot of people don't understand too when it comes to righteousness. A lot of people, we'll go back to music, man. So a lot of people feel like when you talk about somebody being righteous, that it'd be somebody that just listens to a certain type of music, like they listen to jazz, they don't listen to certain kinds of rap, and they just sit and meditate all day. Nah, that ain't nowhere near what being righteous all about, man. I will listen to some gangster rap in a minute, but I would consider myself righteous. For one, I'm not allowing that music to turn me into the person that the music is talking about. So I'm able to extract a deeper message in that music. And that music is not able to influence me to do negative and destructive things in my community. So I'm able to take the jewels, the storytelling from it. So you can be right. Long as you stand true to yourself, to me, you being righteous. So long as you stand true to yourself, but you got to figure out what your truth is. And when you live according to that truth, now you are becoming a righteous individual. So being righteous for me may be different from your righteousness. So we all got to get in tune, and you got to live according to that. You got to live according to that reality, the reality of self. But you got to figure out that reality of self, and you got to live according to that reality, and you got to stand on that truth, and you got to stand on that square. So you got to stand on that truth, and you got to stand on that square. Like I say, we are right and exact. We focus on being right and exact. That's what we focus on. So anytime you find yourself not in alignment with operating on that right and exact type of vibration, then you gotta step back and you gotta analyze what went wrong. And you gotta make adjustments. You gotta be able to adapt and adjust. And that's one thing that we don't tend to do. We don't make adjustments when we commit errors. When we commit those mistakes, we don't extract the lesson from it. So when you don't extract the lesson from it, then you're not able to adjust and adapt. So being able to adapt and adjust is real big in regards to just righteousness. Got to be able to adapt and adjust. Then that's evolution. So you just got to embrace evolution, and you got to be able to adapt and adjust in regards to just embracing righteousness and what it means to be righteous. And then on a righteous tip, when it comes to foods that we consume and things of that nature, that's real big. So we definitely got to make sure when you look at pro-righteousness and anti-devilishment on the food level, on the food scale, in regards to things, the physical foods that we consume, pro-righteousness is basically being pro-life. Anti-devilishment, that means we against that death. So you don't want to consume any foods that bring you death. You want to consume the foods that bring you life, that give you energy. You don't want to eat and consume the foods that zap your energy, that zap your life, that tamper with your life force. You don't want to eat anything of that caliber. So that's why, again, like I said in the description, like it is important that we stand for something or we fall for anything. And a lot of times that's why a lot of people fall for any and everything when it comes to these diets, because they don't stand on anything when it comes to dietary laws. So you need to make sure you have a set of dietary laws that you adhere to. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people have problems when it comes to changing up their dietary habits, because they don't have a set of dietary laws, rules and regulations that they stand on. Like it's certain things that I just will not eat. And it's certain things that I must eat. So you got to have those dietary laws for yourself. That's important. If you don't, you're going to fall for any and every fad diet that's out here. So again, make sure you got some dietary laws, man. That's important. That is important for you. Seville, no doubt. King Grady, peace, what's going on? I'm just getting warmed up. Y'all know it take me about a good 20 minutes to get warmed up. Then we really start building. Magic rims, no doubt. And they wonder why the cycle continues. Yeah, Tavon, and mathematically speaking, a lot of people are stuck at one. See, 2 is the wisdom. 2 is taking that 1, putting it into motion. So a lot of people are stuck at 1. They just stuck at having the information. They just stuck at knowing something. But that wisdom, again, is putting what you have learned into motion. It's applying what you have learned to your everyday life. That's wisdom. You cannot be stuck on 1. You have got to transition to 2. Then from that 2, you got to transition to the 3, which is understanding. So now you understand what's going on. You understand why you must move the way that you move. You now understand the information that you gathered because you put it into motion. So now it makes sense. When they say make it make sense, that's how we talk mathematically. You get the information, you put that information in motion. Then you're going to do trial and error. That's when you gain the understanding. We all know how it go, man. When you take that difficult math course, whether it be trigonometry, calculus, pre-calc, whatever the case may be, you get the information. All right, this is how you do the problem. All right, now you do the problem. Okay, and you either gonna get the problem right or you gonna get the problem wrong. You get the problem wrong, now it's back to the drawing board. What did I do wrong? You get that problem right, then it's like, all right, I'm gonna practice some more. So once you continue to get a high percentage of those problems correct, now you understand the problem. You understand the equation. You understand the formula. You understand everything. But that's repetition. Then when you get that understanding, man, that's liberation. That's liberation. Golden Dragon God, peace. What's going on with you? So again, we got to stop being stuck on one, man. Once you get that information, once you get the know-how, now it's time to put it into motion. Motion is medicine. Do not get stuck on the one. Do not get stuck on the data, the information, the knowledge. Knowledge is crucial. A lot of people say knowledge is power. No, it is not. Knowledge is potential. When we break it down scientifically, you got potential energy and you got kinetic energy. Y'all know what the potential energy is, but the kinetic energy is the energy that's put into motion. The kinetic energy is the energy that you put into motion. Once you put that knowledge and information into motion, and you begin to understand that and what you know, based off of putting it into motion, now you're giving birth to power. Now that is when it becomes power. But knowledge in and of itself is not power. Knowledge in and of itself without motion is not power. Not at all. It's plenty of people that know a bunch of things that are not in positions of power, and there's plenty of people that don't know much of anything and are in high positions of power. So knowledge by itself is not power. Knowledge needs a certain type of motion behind it for it to become power. So that's crucial, man. We need to stop saying knowledge by itself is power. No, incorrect. Incorrect. Knowledge by itself is just potential. That's all it is. When it becomes kinetic, now we got a chance for it becoming power. But it's still some things that must be done to that kinetic energy, to that kinetic knowledge for it to become power. Like I said, the understanding, when that understanding is inserted, now it becomes powerful. And that's all included when it comes to being righteous, being pro-righteousness, man. You got to move from that one, man. Quit getting stuck on the know-how. Quit getting stuck on gathering the information. At some point, you got to elevate beyond the research phase. So if you're doing the knowledge to something, at some point, you got to say, all right, now it's time for me to implement that in which I'm researching and studying. Don't get stuck on the studying phase, man. Put it into motion. Put it into practice. That's science. It's time to experiment. Experimentation. You done gathered your hypotheses and you done did the knowledge. You done did the research. Now it's time to experiment. It's time to experiment and test your hypotheses and see if it's right and exact or not. And if it's not, you got to go back to that drawing board, like I said. So that's important. That's important. So don't just be satisfied with knowing a lot. Don't be satisfied with just gathering a bunch of information. Do not be satisfied with that. Do not be content with just information and knowledge in and of itself. Like mathematically speaking, like I said, that's being stuck on one. You want to move it forward, mathematically speaking. So that's all involved with being righteous, man. Just taking your knowledge and putting it into motion. And that's repetition. That's repetition. They say knowledge is king, but no, repetition is king. So you continue to put what you learn into practice until you get the results that you are seeking. So that is very important, man. That's very important. Pay attention to the trial and error. Pay attention to it. Gay of peace, what's going on? And most definitely, like we said, that's potential energy. That's that energy laying dormant. That's that knowledge. When you bring it to the surface, when you bring it to the light, when you put it into motion, then now it has become kinetic. Kinetic knowledge. You got potential knowledge. You got the kinetic knowledge. I'd rather deal with the kinetic knowledge, the knowledge that's in motion, the knowledge that's moving, the knowledge that's doing something for me. It's almost like money. When they say, I want to make my money work for me, like that's how we can use knowledge. When you learn how to make that money work for you, now that money becomes a powerful tool. That money becomes a powerful tool when that, instead of it just sitting there basically not accumulating anything in a little savings account. That's all potential. That's all potential. That's potential wealth. All that money that you got sitting in your savings account with those garbage interest rates that they have, that's all potential wealth. But when you take that money and you buy some property, you buy some land, you buy some franchises, now that is kinetic. Now you making that money work for you when you invest that money. When you invest that money, that's how I look at knowledge, man. You got the potential knowledge, which is basically storing it in a savings account, just looking at it, knowing that it really ain't accumulating much interest, but it's just there. The kinetic knowledge is basically when you invest, when you take that money, when you take that information and you invest it to generate wealth. So when you utilize that knowledge for the betterment of yourself and your universe, now it has become kinetic and now it has become very useful to you. King Lou, peace, what's going on? Some books I recommend. Y'all know how I get down, man. I'm always, the book of the day that I got right now that I was doing some notes on, it's an investing book. It's an investing book from Peter Lynch. So I be studying all of them, man. They put the truth out here, man. All we got to do is study their tactics, man. That's what we do, study the enemy. See, they studied us and they mastered us. All we got to do is reverse it. We got to study them and master them. So this book right here, One Up on Wall Street, Peter Lynch. Just study what they do. They put all the stuff that they do in these books, man. So they put all their tactics to generate wealth in these books. They say you want to hide something from the black man, put it in a book. Here go one book right here where it's real simple and it's letting you know the ins and outs of the stock markets and just how to maneuver in the stock market. Is right here. And it's a real simple book. And all we got to do is study them. But we act like for some reason that we're not able to achieve the same level of wealth that they are. No, they giving us the formula, but they know that we're not going to read it. So yeah, definitely read that joint, man. Yeah, this joint is crucial in regards to just learning the stock market, learning how to invest. It's a very good beginner's book. If you just now getting into investing, this is a very good one. One Up on Wall Street by Peter Lynch. Sweet Tea, peace, what's going on? Amber Mose, and that's how you should do it. That's how you should do it. Tell people all the time, man, don't put that money in no savings account. Make that money work for you. Make that money work for you. Just like that knowledge, man. Don't just store that knowledge. Make that knowledge work for you. You got that knowledge and you did that knowledge for a reason. Just like you made that money for a reason. Like you're not making that money just for it to sit there and not do anything to benefit you. You made that money so it can benefit you. At least that's what I hope you made the money for. Are you making the money for? Yeah, Think and Grow Rich. Yeah, most definitely. They got a black version of that as well. King Luke, the book I recommend for self-knowledge, real simple, real simple. Knowledge of Self by Supreme Understanding, and then The Science of Self by the same author. So Knowledge of Self by Supreme Understanding, Science of Self by the same author, Supreme Understanding. Those are two good books. Let me see what other book I got. Message to the Black Man. I've always recommended that. TZ Frank, I think it's called Think and Grow Rich, the Black Choice or something like that. Yeah, it's Think and Grow Rich, a Black Choice. Dennis Kimbrough. Yeah, I read that joint. But yeah, King Luke, Message to the Black Man. So if I had to give you 5 books for self-knowledge, I would have to say I started off with King Grady. Is funny, mentioned the ISIS papers. That's another good one. But Knowledge of Self by Supreme Understanding, Science of Self by the same author. Message to the Black Man by Elijah Muhammad. Man, that was game changing. A lot of people gonna tell you the autobiography of Malcolm X. So of course we're gonna throw that in there. Man, let me see. I definitely recommend something by Dr. Ben, but I just don't know which book I would start with. The Black Man of the Nile by Dr. Ben is another good one. The Black Man of the Nile by Dr. Ben. That's an important. That's an important book. And it's crazy that Nick, you just said that right when you just typed it right when I said it. That's crazy. But yeah, Black Man of the Nile is definitely a powerful book. So I say those would be 5 good books to start off with if you haven't read them. Lindell, peace, what's going on? And King Gray, yeah, I was just talking about the ISIS papers, man. The ISIS papers, RIP to that powerful queen, man. But yeah, she dropped a lot of jewels in that particular book. Dropped a lot of jewels. Ahead of her time almost, man. That book is like underappreciated. I mean, a lot of us that know appreciate it, but man, that book should be at the top. That book should be in every Black person's home. That book right there, the ISIS papers, most definitely, no doubt. And that's another part too, being righteous when it comes to doing the knowledge. So you got to be able, when you being righteous, when you embrace being righteous, you got to understand what you're doing. You got to understand the tall task ahead. So you got to understand when you find it in your heart to say, all right, I'm going to commit myself to a righteous way of life. You got to know and understand that you about to be in a small percentage. You about to be in a small group. It's not going to be a lot of people such as yourself. So once you walk outside and start dealing with the masses, you're going to come across a lot of people that's not in their right state of mind. You're going to come across a lot of people who are anti exactly what it is that you're striving to stand for. So once you commit to that righteous energy, once you commit to that righteous lifestyle, it's about to get very challenging for you. Once you commit, and y'all already know, once you commit to changing the way that you eat, what's about to happen? You're about to encounter a lot of people that are anti-healthy eating. That's what's going to happen. So you're going to see a lot of people just joking, making fun of what you're striving to do because you have some dietary laws that you follow. Then they're going to make light of it. They're going to make fun of it. Meanwhile, before that, they wouldn't do that. But it's like, all right, they see somebody that's close to them striving to make them changes. It's like, now I got to talk down that person. I got to talk them out of this because they're about to make me look bad because they able to have this discipline and they able to make these changes. And I'm not able to do that. They taking care of themselves. They looking out for their health. But I'm not able to do that. So I got to bring this person down to my level. So that's what's going to start happening. That's what's going to start happening, man. Any type of change you strive to make, whether it be just adopting a more positive mindset, you're going to really, when you start doing that, it's not like the negativity wasn't always out there. But the thing is, you was part of that negative crowd. So it didn't bother you because you was thinking just like everybody else. The moment you step back and start thinking in opposition to everybody else, you really start noticing how negative the world is. So you don't notice how negative the world is when you part of that world. It's when you step outside of that world, when you say, I'm going to be positive in the midst of all of this chaos, you really start analyzing how negative everybody is. Like that's one of the first things that I did, man, when I was striving to adopt a more peaceful and centered mindset. I really realized how imbalanced everybody was. But when I was imbalanced, of course, obviously I couldn't catch that. I couldn't pick up on that because I was just like them. I was like everybody else. I wasn't even striving to be balanced. What they say, I was a savage in pursuit of happiness. That's what we say. So when I was living that way of life, when I was a savage in pursuit of happiness, it was like, man, I wasn't able to detect that. I wasn't able to peep that type of game. I wasn't picking up on that energy. I wasn't picking up on those vibes. So it's crazy. But once I stepped back, once I took that step back and said, all right, man, I'm about to strive to be more positive, not even strive. I'm going to just be more positive, be more productive, be more peaceful, be more centered. It was like, man, I realized how out of whack everybody is. Yeah, University. Yep. And African Holistic Health. That's another good one. When it comes to health books for Black people, I could do a whole little video on that joint, but yeah. And then How to Eat to Live, volumes 1 and 2, in regards to like nutrition, Black nutrition, that is. But yeah, African Holistic Health is a very good one, along with the book that you mentioned. I got a few under the radar joints, but I got to go grab them. I have to grab them and just show y'all those books. King Luke, no doubt. I already know, like I said, it's proximity. So you're gonna notice all the things I'm talking about in the people that's closest to you, in the people that you are around the most. It's just proximity. So that's why we tend to notice it in the family and friends first. Magic realms, no doubt. No doubt. The higher you elevate, it's like the more you see, because again, you're not on that same level as everybody, man. So now you transcend it. So now you're able to just see everything better. You're able to just see everything better. Everything becomes clearer to you, more precise. So you just say your vision is clear. What they call it, the third eye, the pineal gland, that becomes clear. So you start noticing a lot of just self-destructive people, man. You really start realizing the state that the world is in. You start really analyzing the state, the condition that most people are in. When you start striving to make positive changes in your life, man, and sometimes it's sad, sometimes it's hard to deal with. Like sometimes it's hard to deal with, man, when you start noticing, especially when it's the family members. Nick Lewis for Dr. Clark, John Henry Clark. I read pretty much all his books. You got Christopher Columbus and the African Holocaust. That's one. African People in World History. That's two. And Africans at the Crossroads. That's three. I recommend those three books for John Henry Clark. Lindell, no doubt. Keep it positive. Keep it positive, powerful, peaceful, all of that. And that's what a lot of my clients, man, a lot of my clients that I train in the physical, it's the same type of vibe. It's the same type of vibe. And that's what they tell me, man. They just like my energy. They like my spirit, as some people say. So it's like, man, we just striving to keep it positive, powerful. Like I said, it's enough ignorance. It's enough destruction on here. It's enough people beefing. I don't have time for that. I don't allow that in my cipher. I don't allow that in my cipher, like my inner circle. So yeah, that's why we gotta keep it real. We gotta keep it real peaceful, and that's one thing that I do. Keep it real, centered and balanced. Like again, I'm even outside of being pro-righteous. Like I'm pro-truth. I'm pro-positivity. I'm pro-peace. Like those are some things that I'm like pro. Montel, is crazy that you mentioned him. I was looking at one of his books. What is it? Blacks in Europe. So I was looking at one of his joints, Clyde Winters. That is Blacks in Europe. I was looking at that joint. King Luke, one thing that you can't that you can't do, you gotta stop that now. Don't even listen. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So like when it comes to because I've done this is only gonna lead to the deterioration of your health by striving to help family members, giving them knowledge when they're not ready for it. You can't force it on the family members. All you got to do, you take that information, you apply it to self, you live out that reality, basically putting it into motion for yourself. And then once they see how you elevating based off of the information that you gathered, then one or two things gonna either happen. They're gonna be like, okay, I see this information is changing his life for the better. I'm intrigued. And then they're gonna ask you questions, or they're gonna be like, oh, good for him. And they're not gonna even ask you any questions. But that's all you can do at the end of the day when it comes to dealing with family members and knowledge, man. You can't just be throwing the knowledge in their face because they're not gonna be receptive to it. You would think they would because it's coming from a loved one, someone who would have their best interests at heart, but they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it, especially when it comes to certain pieces of information. They'll listen to a wicked doctor before they listen to you. And you can even work in that field. You can be in that field, but they'll listen to that wicked doctor over you. They'll listen to a doctor that's telling them to consume the pork before they listen to you telling them, nah, pork is bad. They'll take the authority of that doctor over you. And you could be in almost the same field, but they're going to listen to that doctor. So you got things like that happen. It's going to take for a tragedy to occur. And that's sad for them to semi-listen to something that you said when it comes to health. Naeem, yes. Black Arabian, the African Origin of Islam. I read that book when I was first coming into my knowledge of self. I read that book like 10 years ago. I was fresh out of high school when I read that joint. And I read his the Book of God. The Encyclopedia of Proof that the Black Man is God. Yeah, so I read both of those. I read both of those books from Wesley Muhammad. I actually read some more books from Wesley Muhammad as well. But yeah, the book of God, the Encyclopedia of Proof that the Black Man is God. That was one from Wesley Muhammad that I read. Black Arabia, that was two. The Religion of the Black God, that was three. I also read that from Wesley Muhammad. I got a few more that I gotta read. Because he got another joint that I need to dive into, understanding the assault on the black man, black manhood type deal. So that's the next joint I'm gonna probably read from Wesley Muhammad. I like his work. Scully, and that's what it is. That's what it is. Listen, you doing it for the people who willing to ask, who open to this information. I was just reading a book on marketing, and it was like that's the one thing you cannot try to do is change someone's mind. This is marketing 101. Like this is a book straight out of business school. They tell you in this book for marketing, the 22 immutable laws of marketing. They tell you off out the gate that the worst thing that you can try to do is change someone's mind. It's the worst thing you can try to do. The worst. They understand this on the business level, and we got to understand it on a personal level. That's one of the worst things you can strive to do is change someone's mind. It's not going to go well for you. It's not going to go well for you at all. And I'm pretty sure y'all are living proof of that. Trying to change someone's mind about something that they've been doing for a very long time, not going to go well for you. So I don't even entertain it anymore. I used to do it hard, but I don't even entertain it anymore. I just let it be. If they need to know something pertaining to what it is that I'm interested in and what I do, they going to ask. If they don't ask, it's on them. King Grady, yes, I read that book, but I don't recommend people start with that book because it's so thick, it's intimidating. So it's like when you read the smaller books, then you work your way up to that book. But I've read every Amos N. Wilson book known to man. But that Blueprint to Black Power is the GOAT of books for Black people. And Powernomics too by Claude Anderson. Claude Anderson got a lot of good books too, but Powernomics is another good one. Magic Realms, no doubt. And people are highly critical when it comes to certain things. Tavon, yeah, like they said, the truth. Elijah Muhammad said, "The truth hurts the guilty." That's all it is. When you tell the truth pertaining to certain subject matter, and again, when you tell that truth to certain people, man, they gonna feel attacked because again, they guilty. They feeling guilty because everything that you said it pertains to them, so they don't like that. That's why they consider it attack because the truth hurts the guilty. So when you're guilty, that truth is going to hurt you, and it's gonna feel like an assault on your whole entire being. When you out here telling somebody, when you basically telling somebody, look, everything that you consuming and everything that you've been consuming is trash, like they can't take that. They can't take that. They can't take that, man. So it's a way that you got to communicate things to certain people. A lot of people can't handle it just direct like that. And sometimes that's how the truth is, man. It's just direct. Like you need to stop eating that pork because that pork is just trash, man. It's terrible for you. It is killing you. That's the literal truth. But some people can't handle it like that. Oh, Gay University, no doubt. Yeah, I got a lot of that coming. I got a lot of those type of videos coming as far as like the workouts and all that good stuff. A lot of those coming. A lot of those coming. Yeah, Magic Realms. And hey, the only thing that you're going to get from force is resistance. Period. Tavon, no doubt. You know, and like I said, it's easier. Like it's easy to say that, but a lot of people can't put on that. They can't put on that shoe. They can't put on that shoe. They mad at you for pointing out. They mad for you to point that they mad at you for pointing out that the shoe fits. And it's like they can't handle it. Travian, oh, you tried to correct Granny. That's, that ain't gonna work. You might get through to moms and pops, but Granny, no. You might as well get that mission up. If you trying to convince Granny or grandpops of anything like that, game over. Like they not about to listen to anything you saying. They gonna feel like they done been doing this for however long they been on this earth, and they good. That is the hardest person or the hardest group of people to get to listen to you. So a lot of times, man, that's just why I focus on the youth a lot, man, because the youth, they be open to it, man. They not stuck in their ways for the most part. But we got some elders that's like open to information and open to practicing new things, man. But for the most part, man, it's complicated, especially being like a youngin, being like in the middle. Like I'm in the middle now. I ain't necessarily a youngin, but I ain't necessarily like an OG. I'm in the middle. So it's hard for me to come with certain information because people feel like you ain't lived enough and you don't know nothing. But it's like, man, this information is out here and it ain't no time span on that. Like I can get this information just like you can get this information. It's out here for everybody. I don't need to exist for 60 or 70 years to know certain things. Like, nah, it ain't that deep anymore, man. I can easily get certain types of information and I can easily just study. Like 30 years is a long time, man. If I study a subject for 5 or 10 years, like, man, I'm gonna know a little something about that subject. So if I start studying something at 20 and I'm 30 and I'm still studying that's 10 years of me studying something, man. That's a long time of studying. So I would think I would know something about certain things if I've been studying something for 10 plus years. So a lot of times, a lot of people act like you can't know anything if you a certain age. Like, come on now, it's people that 70, 80 that don't know nothing. And it's people, man, you can learn something from a 10-year-old, yo, but it's people that's 80 and 90 that's just foolish out here. So y'all, yeah, that's dead. Yeah, Tavon and that, yeah. Yep, King Luke. Yeah, so we all, yeah, CCH, yeah, that's brave. Like my granny ain't here anymore, but yeah, that's brave. I would have never even thought. And I felt like that could have saved my granny's life for the most part because she had diabetes, died of a stroke. I know for a fact that some of the information I had could have changed her life, but I mean, at the end of the day, I couldn't force it. That's brave though. Travian, you should have filmed it, like, because we need to see that. Yeah, Scully, and that's one reason why I write books and do the things that I do, because I mean, that's the legacy, that's the work that you leaving behind. So that's gonna help somebody, man. If it help 1 or 2 people, that's all I need. Oh, Seville, that's one of the main things that people are gonna look at you funny. I can't tell you the type of the energy that surrounded me when I was like, I'm about to stop eating meat. I'm about to stop eating dairy products. I mean, the energy, it was like people thought I had lost my mind, you know? People thought the books were driving me crazy and all type of stuff, man. I was like, wow, because I'm striving to eliminate things that's destroying my health and striving for a healthier way of life. Now you think I'm going crazy. You think I'm a lunatic. Like a lot of people thought I was like legit going crazy and thought I was a lunatic or a hippie. You know, when you go vegan or vegetarian, a lot of people associate you with hippies out here. That's what they tend to do. That's what was happening. So a lot of people thought I was just finna go crazy, man, finna go just live off the grid. Because I said I'm about to eliminate meat and the dairy products. Yeah, Tavon, man, I don't even, like I said, man, a lot of people know what it is I stand for. So at the end of the day, when they want to know something, they know who to come ask and they know where to find me. I leave it directly at that. It's almost like just being too old to have like beef with a person. Like, man, you know where to find me. If we run into each other, we just run into each other. I'm not going to go out of my way to try to fight you at this particular point in my life. So if somebody got a problem with me, it's like, look, you know where to find me. I ain't hard to find. If you really want to settle this, we can settle this. If not, be quiet. So that's how I be looking at it. And Terenzo, no doubt, it's all frequencies. It's all energy. It's all vibration. Everything is mental. Oh, Denise, most definitely. That's all you get from force. Remember that. Yeah, Tony Briscoe. I've been trying to figure out what I mean, because I done had people call me OG, but it's like I don't think I'm OG status. So it's like I'm a middle G or so. I'm an MG. Like I'm in the middle. Yeah, Gail, that's exactly how I be, man. Granny ain't trying to hear it. Granny gonna eat the pig feet. Granny gonna eat the neck bones. Granny gonna eat all the type of stuff that the slaves ate. Like, Granny, you need to stop eating that. You know what I mean? Like, but you can't. That's just you. You might as well get it up. Yeah, Tavon, like I said, man, the truth is just neutral. I mean, you got to take that truth and you got to make it useful for you. But a lot of people, they just take the truth and they get mad at it. But at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. The truth is not biased. That's why I like the truth. The truth don't care who you are. The truth will remain the truth. So the truth does not bend in the favor of a particular type of group of people. No, the truth just is. And that's one thing I love about the truth. Yeah, Magic Realms, it's like the longer you exist on this earth for some people, man, it's like the more ignorant they become. The fresher you are, it's like the more in tune they really are. So that's why you gotta get them, man. You gotta teach the youth, teach the young, because it's like they more fresh mentally and they more open. But it's like, man, it's like when they talk about the body breaking down, man, it's like they got all those miles on them mentally. It's just like, man, they not open to that new information. They not. It's gonna take a lot to open their mind up to that new information. CCH, no doubt. Like I said, you want to hide something from the black man, put it in a book. Simple way to do it. I can't tell you how many times people have asked me certain things and I shoot a book at them. Book maybe 200, 300 pages. You think how many people you think read? If I recommend a book to 10 people, probably, like I'm talking about in the physical, probably 1 out of the 10 gonna actually read the book. That's how that goes, man. People really ain't trying to do the work that's required, which is the studying, the reading, the researching, and just comprehending, taking notes, like doing things like that, man. We'd rather be entertained. We'd rather be entertained. We prioritize entertainment over education. Oh yeah, Tavon, definitely. Being peculiar is definitely a blessing. Yeah, TZ Frank, that's what they think. When you say something about vegan and vegetarian amongst the black family members, man, they think you a hippie. They think you about to be out here with the white dudes with the long hair that just smoke weed all day. That's what they think. Keisha, peace, what's going on? Seville, just imagine. Listen, just imagine how it was. Like I said, man, about 10 years ago, for a person such as myself, man. This was this was before like everything just became easy to access, man. So I was, man, some of the books that I had around me, man, like I said, people had thought that I had lost my mind, man. I had books, of course, I had the books giving you that knowledge itself, but then I had like a lot of ancient mythology books, ancient history books. Then I had a lot of books talking about the government. Like people thought that I was finna lose it. Y'all know how they depict, though, you know how they depict individuals like that in those movies, the so-called conspiracy theorists. They make them look like a lunatic, somebody that's crazy, somebody that need to be locked up in an insane asylum. That's how they make them look. So when you start surrounding yourself with that type of information, that's what people gonna think. All right, dude, going crazy. You need to stay away from those books. You need to go have some fun. That's another thing I hate. When people tell you that you need to have some fun, I'm like, yo, me reading books and researching and studying is fun. So why would somebody see you read? They got to make that statement, man. Do you have fun? What do you do for fun? Man, I read. Learning is exciting to me. Man, I had all that fun back in the day, man. I used to go out all the time, man. That's overrated. I'd rather sit up with a nice book, man, and just learn some things, man, and implement what I learned. That's fun for me. So a lot of people see you reading and then they make it look like that's something that's just tedious and it's not exciting and it's not fun. Incorrect. Incorrect. Reading is very fun. Learning is very fun. I don't know why we think otherwise. I do know why we think otherwise. It's because of the school system and how they made learning so dry because of those textbooks. But at the end of the day, man, then that's another thing. People assume when they used to see me reading back in the day, they used to ask me what I'm studying for. Am I in school? No, I just do this. Like those are some assumptions that I used to get tired of those, man. People thinking that I'm in school and people be like, oh, what do you do for fun? Like, nah, this is my fun. Yale University, man. Woo, Alex Jones. Yeah, man. I remember I used to watch a lot of them back in the day. I got some knowledge. Somebody told me William Cooper was an agent. And Vernon Maxwell and Ike, man, I fool with them though. I fool with them, man. Alex Jones, I started looking at him a little differently. I don't know about Alex Jones for now. See, some of those dudes, man, you be having to really do the knowledge to them. You be having to really do the knowledge to them because some of them are not as authentic as we may want to believe. Like sometimes they have been paid to put out some of that information. It may look like it's revealing information, but sometimes they are paid to put out some of that information. So you got to find the honest ones when it comes to them. Out of that four, like Alex Jones be the one that I was a little bit skeptical about. Tavon, man, like I said, man, I get that all the time. That's why I don't even strive to force it, man. I don't even strive to force it. I'm gonna stand on my square, I'm gonna stay true to self, and that's all I can do. Oh, Keisha, no doubt. At least that's what the truth is supposed to do. The truth will set you free if you allow it to set you free. A lot of people don't allow the truth to set them free. But if you allow the truth to liberate you, that is exactly what it would do. That is exactly what the truth is here for, to liberate you, to set you free. That's one of the reasons why the truth is here. Yeah, like I said, yeah, Alex Jones, I was kind of skeptical. I've been kind of skeptical on him for a minute. Yeah, JB, no doubt. Like they hide things. They put a lot of things in these books on us. Oh, Keisha, appreciate it. It's always good to have the queens in the building. Trey being the share. Yep. Yeah, chemistry. Yeah, and we know. Like again, I used to talk about all that type of stuff, man. The FEMA camps, like the caskets that they had set up for us, like the little FEMA caskets, the little concentration camps that they had set up for us, Rex 84, chemtrails, HARP, all of that good stuff, man. Of course, I used to talk about the stuff that they was doing to the food out here, but I used to build on all of that. The secret meetings that they used to have, Council on Foreign Relations, the Bilderberg groups, all of that good stuff. I used to chop it up on all of that. That's back when the Obama deception was out. If y'all familiar with Alex Jones, I know y'all know about the Obama deception, but I was building on all of that, man. And like I said, a lot of people was thinking I'm going crazy. Then we already knew the knowledge to 9/11, so that wasn't something I had to break down. That was we know that knowledge. We know the science behind that. So we ain't have to build on that, man. But I was building on a lot of things that was happening. I was building, and I talked about this, having your survival kit. And the reason why I was talking about the survival kit is because I was on that New Madrid. We still on the New Madrid fault line. And they was talking about HARP, how they going to generate an earthquake via HARP. And that earthquake is going to be real destructive, like the last earthquake that occurred on this New Madrid fault line. They were saying we are long due or overdue for that. So HARP is controlling that. So we got something in our lessons that talk about who make rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. We know what's going on when it comes to this weather out here. We know the truth behind the weather and how it's been manipulated. When it comes to things like earthquakes, we got to question that. We got to question that because they have tampered with nature. So some of this stuff is not necessarily Mother Nature. It is them being destructive, trying to manipulate and control nature. So we know the science behind that. But again, we start talking about that type of stuff again. That's when we tend to have problems. Pages getting deleted, channels getting like disappearing and vanishing and all that. Oh, Nick, no doubt. Keisha, then you know all about yeah, you enjoy learning. I wish if I could go back, then I would have got my 2 degrees in philosophy and psychology because I took some courses in college, which they got all my money, all that student loan debt. And forget that student loan debt, man. I ain't paying y'all. Forget y'all. Y'all put me in all that debt, man. Y'all knew what y'all was doing. They'd give an 18-year-old a student loan before they give them a loan to start a business. You go to the bank as an 18-year-old and you try to get that startup loan to start a business, they're gonna reject you, but they'll give you $50,000 to $100,000 in student loan debt. I have a problem with that. But you an 18-year-old with a fresh plan for a business, for a little business endeavor, then they're not gonna give you anything for that. They're gonna reject you. They'll give you that student loan though. Yeah, they give you that $100,000 student loan for something that ain't guaranteed. But yeah, they got me. So I wish I could have used my degrees more wisely, and I could have at least got something that I wanted, which would have been philosophy and psychology. Yeah, you already know that the knowledge junkie. That's what it is. Knowledge game. That's what we do. Knowledge game. When you embrace the knowledge game mentality, man, you loving the knowledge. You love knowledge, and nothing is off limits. You studying everything. You studying everything that intrigues you, and you connecting the dots. Because what you would do, you will find out that everything is kind of connected, interconnected, as they call it. So that's why I study everything. I may read a book about vegetarianism. I may read a book about investing, and I may read a book about sleep, and I can connect all dots. I can connect all dots. I literally have books about all of which I just named. So it's like I can read all 3 of those, man, and connect all type of dots. Because everything is interconnected. Master Tool, Peace, what's going on? Yeah, Tavon, I don't have time for it, man. Like I don't have. At the end of the day, a lot of people are trying to distract themselves when you're going out every weekend, man. If that's something that you want to do, cool, but you ain't got to do it excessively. You ain't gotta kill your brain cells with the alcohol every weekend or every other day. Like that's just unnecessary, especially as you start to get on up there in age, man. You need to start embracing wisdom more so than entertainment, more so than certain environments like those. Come on, like especially my queens out here, man. I hate to see my queens out here degrading themselves, man. Just going out getting sloppy drunk. Like to me, that is just the worst thing that you can do as a black woman, man. Is go out here and get sloppy, pitch black drunk, just blacking out. I cannot stand to see that. I cannot stand to see my sisters go out and get that doggone drunk. And dudes are out here grimy and gonna take advantage of that. So I can't stand. That's why I can't stand to see it. It's like a pet peeve of mine. I don't really like being around drunk women. And that's one of the reasons why, because I can't stand it. I don't like to see you get in that state, man, because I know people are going to take advantage of you, and I know how destructive it is, and I know that your body is a temple. So it's like, man, I can't tolerate it. I really can't tolerate it, especially when you think that you need to do this. When you feel like this is the only way to relieve your stress and all that type of stuff like that. That's something that has always grinded my gears. I can't stand to be around it. Can't stand to be around it. Like if you think that that's the only thing that you can do to have a good time, come on. Oh yeah, Magic Rams, no doubt, man. Reading is exciting to me. Reading is fun. Yeah, Gay University, Creature of on Jekyll Island. Nice, again, another thick book that I definitely recommend. Dominique, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? I left the post office about 2 hours ago, man. Shipped your book off. Told you I was gonna do it after the holiday, man. Like, cause everything was backed up. So I was like, I'm gonna give it some time. I'm gonna do it after New Year's. But I just shipped your book off. Oh yeah, Terenzo, no doubt with the breakdown. Proper breakdown as always. Yeah, Keisha, no doubt. If I could do one thing over, it'd be school. It'd be my approach. Because again, it can be useful when you do it the correct way. But I didn't have proper guidance going into it. So that's how they got me with the student loan debt. But it's all good. It's all good though. That's a learning experience, but it's all good though. But they got us messed up out here. All them little, credit card companies and all that start hitting you up when you're 18, trying to get you in all this type of debt. Like I said, when you had that business proposition and you try to take it to a bank, they reject you. Our master too, man. Anything exposing a virus, once they get a hold of it, it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. Big Phil, peace. What's going on? Oh, Denise, no doubt. Like I said, once you start to understand the information that you have gathered and you put it into motion, that gives birth to that power. OPEC 1, peace. What's going on? Keisha, no doubt. I will definitely tell her. Yeah, Magic Rims, and I'm not saying, I'm not afraid to say that. I just can't be around it. I cannot be around my sisters when they are drinking. I just don't like it. I don't like to see them in that state. It's just something I can't shake it. I just do not like to see it. Like when they start getting loud, when they start acting all crazy, it start getting overly emotional. Like when I can't take it. I can't take it. I can't take it when anybody is around me on that type of vibe, but I really can't take seeing my sisters like that because I know how savage the world is and how you can easily get taken advantage of when you are in that state. So that's the only thing that I think about when I see a sister that's constantly overindulging in alcohol. I'm like, man, how many times was this sister taken advantage of? And she might not even know it. Like that's the type of stuff that don't sit well with me. That's why I'm just like, man, why do you keep doing this, man? I know you have been taken advantage of by overindulging in this substance. You got to know that because you wake up and don't remember what happened the next day. I don't want to be in a situation where I wake up and don't remember what happened the next day, and then I got a headache called a hangover. That's not cool. That's not cool to me. That's not fun. King Grady, man, she drink like a fish but won't get drunk. She can have that though, or you can have that. I don't want no parts of that. Magic Rims, you and me both. I don't find that appealing. Like I don't find that. I just don't find that appealing at all. Like because for one, also it's always I'm looking deeper than the surface too. So when I see a sister that's overindulging in alcohol, I immediately sense a problem. I feel like she's doing this for a reason. I feel like something is wrong. I feel like she's striving to she's running from something. And so I just when I see a sister that's just overindulging in alcohol, I just see a sister that's disturbed. I see a bunch of problems and she's trying to run from the problems. And she's trying to do that through the alcohol. But then to deny it, you know what I'm saying? So I just don't like to see it because I start seeing a lot of things, man. I'm obviously I'll be the sober one, so I'm able to do that. Oh yeah, Terenzo, like I say, the word black, man, I could do a whole video on that word and what it means, just tracing it down historically speaking, the triple stage darkness. Oh, Denise, and that's all it's about. Looking in the mirror, looking within. If you ain't got access to a mirror, just look within. Look within yourself. How do you look within yourself? Close your eyes. And now you looking within. Close your eyes, focus on your breathing. And now you looking within yourself. OPEC, man, hey, whether you know it or not, you helping me become better by tuning in. Like y'all helping me become a better version of myself because like I said, doing this YouTube stuff the way that I'm doing it got me out of my shell. It got me out of my shell, man. Like I said, I've always been like socially awkward. I've never been one to like get on cameras and do a lot of talking. You would pretty much have to provoke me, man, to get me riled up and start doing a lot of talking. If you didn't provoke me and get me riled up, then I'll probably just sit there, man. So I sit on a lot of information and I wouldn't really say nothing. I write it. So that's why Facebook and all of that was my platform. And I was loving that platform because I was able to write and I wouldn't have to get on camera and I wouldn't have to talk a lot because that's not something that I necessarily fooled with. But man, y'all tuning in and tapping in with your boy on here, man, it's just boosted that confidence. And it wasn't even that I lacked the confidence. It was just, man, I just never really cared to be that person. But y'all boosting the vibes on that though. Y'all keeping me going. Because I usually do something like this and then I just disappear and vanish. Like I said, they say God works in mysterious ways. I'm definitely one. I done had so many YouTube channels, man. I probably got like 10 channels under my name. I done made all type of emails. And the reason why I was doing that because I was trying to dodge the boys. You know, the men in black, when you start putting out certain content, they try to shut your channels down. So I created multiple channels. But I will always get on here and do some consistent things like put out some music videos and then put out some short videos and then I stop or I delete my channel. But I have been pretty consistent on this channel, man. And that's big for me when it comes to this because I'm usually not consistent with something like this because it's like at the end of the day, I start looking at it like, what's the point sometimes? Oh, Tavon, yeah, Tavon know all about CERN. Yeah. King Loot, I've always, when it comes to transforming and conditioning my body, I've always been into like fitness on the exercise tip, on a weightlifting tip. I didn't start focusing on transforming my body from in regards to like nutrition and my mind until I graduated high school. So that was probably got looking at about 10, 11 years ago. So when I was about 18, 19, 20, that's when I really started transforming. That's when I really started to take everything seriously. Like I said, I had been into like fitness and working out all the way up from like since I can remember until now. But of course, obviously, I wasn't really focused on like the eating healthy aspect of it. I just lift weights, played sports, did that type of stuff. But once I got out of high school, once I started really doing the knowledge, then I really started focusing on taking my health and fitness to the next level. Keisha, oh yeah, Inner Mask. I can definitely supply the link. I can definitely supply the link. Let me see if I can you know, sometimes you look up this book and you don't be seeing it on Amazon, but I can definitely supply the link though. Y'all know how I go. Like I said, some pieces of information when it comes to certain people, they like to try to take them out the game. They don't want some of us to be great, but we gonna be great anyway. We gonna be great regardless. See, here it is again. I'm typing it in, and there we go. It ain't coming up. Let me type in my name. All right, there we go. All right, we put the link in the chat, and then I'm also added to the description. I keep forgetting to do that. I'm supposed to add the book, the link for the book in all of the descriptions for my videos, but you know, CA, Boogs, what's going on? Oh, Tavon, no doubt. Yeah, already, yeah, the science behind the wine and the spirits and all that, you know, when people do the libations and all that good stuff. Yeah, OPEC, overindulging in the wrong foods is definitely not attractive and definitely not something I fool with neither, especially if they're not willing to make a change. I just don't understand how you could be with somebody that's not striving to be the healthiest version of themselves. That's letting you know that that person do not value themselves. So I just, for the life of me, I'm not understanding that. You with somebody that's not striving to be better, like to be healthier, when they know they are unhealthy, I don't understand what's going on. Brandon, peace. What's going on with you, my brother? MCJ Rocker, man, most definitely, man. By that time, you should be chilling on that type of stuff, man. You should really be chilling on that by that time. You should have got all that out your system early. All that drinking and all that experiment, man. By the time you get to a certain age, it's like, man, dude, chill out. You mean to tell me you need to have a drink? You need to be You need to be under the influence of this substance every time you go to a function. Like, dude, seriously, you can't function soberly, like sober. Goodness, like, man, my goodness. I mean, I'll be cooling sober. Like, I'll be cooling so hard being sober. People think that I'm high. That's how chill I be, man. People be thinking I'm high and I just be cooling. And I'm sober. And people be thinking I'm tripping. Oh yeah, Tavon, no doubt. You ain't even gotta watch the movies to see that. You just gotta pay attention to your family members when they overindulge in those substances and how they respond and react to it. That's all you gotta do. The movie is right in the home. Master Tube, and it's interesting that you say that because I had stopped rocking with YouTube because I didn't want to become a victim of it. So I had stayed away from it because I was like, man, I watched a lot of people on YouTube from when they first started. Then I saw where they built their platform to a certain level, and then I just saw the change. Almost everybody who I watched when they first started, I can't rock with them now because of the way they started acting when things became bigger for them. And I was like, man, I don't want no parts of that type of energy. I don't want no parts of that type of vibe. A lot of people can't handle that. And I was just like, man, you know what? I'm gonna always stay true to myself so I can do this thing righteously, man. But it was a lot of people that I rocked with back in the day that I currently do not care to rock with because they built the platform to a certain level and then they just started changing. And that's corny to me. Acting like they too good for the people. But them people are the people that made you who you were. So now you acting like you too good for the people because you didn't got a lot of those people to rock with you. So it's like, man, come on, man. Come on now. That ain't the way to be. That ain't the way to act. All magic rims. Yeah, a lot of people don't know when I talk about the Men in Black. They make the movie, but that's a real thing. Though that's who they send to your crib when you start speaking that information. They send the Man in Black. They send the Man in Black, the real Man in Black. And you got it when you see the Man in Black, when you see them men in them black suits, you might have a problem on your hand. Hey, Sharif, man, no doubt. I appreciate you tuning in, tapping in when you can. Seville, yeah. So you was right behind me. Like I said, I started about 18, 19. Yeah, university, go on, grab it. I'm gonna have my next book out probably next month or so. I wrote it down in my planner, man. I'm trying to get 5 to 6 books done this year. Watch me work. Watch me work. Terenzo, no doubt. And it's crazy too. I had seen a brother that I follow on Facebook post this book about etymology. It was like the dictionary of etymology. That mother was like 1,000 pages. Sharif, man, no doubt, man. We was clubbing hard back in my teenage years and then maybe early 20s. That vibe ain't for me, man. I don't even like 90%, 99% of the music that they play in some of these clubs. So it's like, man, what am I really doing here? I don't be dancing like that. And I don't even like the music. I don't care for the people. So like, what am I doing here? So I had to like ask myself that, man, like, what am I doing? This ain't me. So I had to remove myself from that situation, from those environments. Yeah, Matt, and I witnessed that a lot on YouTube. I witnessed that a lot on this platform. Like I said, a lot of people that I rock with, a lot of people that I was rocking with that actually helped me transition into like the knowledge of self, man. It's like they got to a certain level. Like they got to that certain level and then they started to change, man. And it's like, nah, we ain't with all that. We ain't with all that. I'm gonna be the same I'm gonna be the same when I got 0 people watching, opposed to 1,000,000 people. And I can, a lot of people can vouch for that, man. I've been this what y'all see right now. When I used to work in the bank, the way y'all see my hair draping now, I used to wear my hair in the bank just like this, man. I wasn't out there doing my hair no type of way. I'm myself wherever I go, and that ain't gonna change. People used to come in the bank too. They was like, man, they let you work at this bank with your hair long like that? I said, man, I'm in here. So man, I gotta stay true to myself, man. I don't see myself changing like that for nobody, man, because I've always been the same person, man. I've always been that same person no matter where I've been. I've seen like the corporate world change people. It never changed me. I was at a college. I was at a college where like we were really the minority. Like it was like 99.8% white. And I ain't never dabbled with them like that, man. So it didn't change me. If anything, it made me stand more on my stance and stand more on my square. So like I done been in environments where a lot of people change. It changes a lot of people. A lot of people will be in that college around on white folks, and it'll shift their perspective. You might see them become whitewashed. Not me. I became more about my black people by experiencing that way of life, by seeing how they really live out here. I didn't went in the corporate world. I didn't allow that corporate world to make me compromise who I am. I'm gonna wear my hair how I want to wear it. They ain't finna make me put my hair up in a certain type of way if I don't want to. So yeah, so I'm staying true to myself. So it's the same with a platform like this. Y'all seeing me now? Y'all look up a year or two from now, this thing say 1,000 people tuned in and watching. You about to get the same type of information. You about to get the same type of vibe. You about to get the same type of presentation. It ain't gonna change, man. I ain't finna get all hot and diddy on you, because that's not who I am, man. That's just fake to me. That's fake to me, man. I keep it authentic and I keep it original. And I feel like people appreciate that originality, that authenticity. I ain't got time to be acting like something I'm not. I'm not finna put on a suit and start talking to y'all with a suit on. I'm not finna put on that polo shirt. Nah, I rock a hoodie, man. I'm gonna rock a t-shirt or something. Might rock a tank top, might rock a fitness shirt. Then I'm gonna convey my message that way. That's how I rock. That's how I roll. Like that's how I rock. That's how I roll. And that's what you gonna get every time. Like I'm consistent with who I am. I might not be consistent with doing some certain things, but I'm consistent in regards to who I am and what I stand on. Oh yeah, Keisha, no doubt. I'm putting out, like I said, when it comes to YouTube and like books, people finna get tired of me. I'm finna put out the most books possible, and I'm gonna put out the most content possible on YouTube. Forget the algorithms, man. They finna see me because I'm finna consistently put out information. Oh, magic, no doubt. No doubt. Don't take long, don't take much. That's why it's always best to be true to self. See, when you be true to self, then the people that's rocking with you, you're gonna attract that. So when you true, when you authentic, like when you authentic and original, guess what you're gonna attract? You're gonna attract original and authentic people. So I had a client tell me that I should be much bigger than I am. This is a client. Client told me this. She said, man, you should be much bigger than you are. I said, you already know how that goes. See, I focus on being original. I focus on being authentic. When you focus on that, then, or when I focus on that, I'm only going to attract authentic and original people. I said that's a small percentage of people. So it's going to take a minute for something that I'm doing to become massive, because there's not a lot of people that are original and authentic to self. So I said, man, it sounds good to say, well, oh, you should be bigger than what you are. No, I'm right where I need to be. I'm right where I need to be. I'm right where I need to be. I don't need to be any bigger than what I am, because most of the time that's gonna come with a lot of trolls, a lot of people who just watching you just to disagree with what you're saying. I feel like I got the right people tuning in, the people that actually need to hear what I'm saying, the people that's actually willing to listen to what I'm saying. So no, I'm good. Bigger don't always mean better. So I don't need a bigger audience, because a lot of, like I said, most of the time that's gonna be a lot of fools coming in that mix. So no, I'm cool with the smaller crowd, the people that's actually paying attention. It's like a small business. Like sometimes working for that smaller company is better than working for that larger company. So I'd rather deal with the smaller audience. That's how I look at it. And that's how I operate. So in due time, we're gonna be bigger than what we are now, of course, obviously. But for now, I'm good. I'm focused on the small amount of people that's rocking with me. And to me, this small amount is large. So I done had people keep telling me, man, your channel should be this, your channel should be that. My channel is exactly where it needs to be. It's exactly what it needs to be. We good. We rolling. Because again, more eyes on you, gonna have a bunch of trolls, a bunch of nonsense that don't need to be on here. Brandon, and that's all we do. We keep it authentic and original. King Grady, appreciate that. Keisha, no doubt, appreciate you. And y'all know how it is, man. I got the venting again. Be losing track of time, man. I be losing. That's another thing I work on. Being prompt, being on time, man. I tend to be a little bit late. I'm one of them. I operate on true African time. You know, our ancestors, man, as long as you showed up, you was good. So there ain't no such thing as being late. That's another thing. They say black people time, but people don't realize the actual history behind that. There's some actual science behind black people time. Like our ancestors in our culture, our true culture, ain't no such thing as being late. Like I said, as long as you show up, you good. That's an African way of life. So they got us out here thinking we wrong because we be late to certain things. No, the African way, like, long as I show up, I'm good. Long as I'm there, I'm good. That's how I operate, because I'm in tune with that. I'm in tune with my history. I'm in tune with myself. So as long as I show up, we good. We gonna roll. But I tried to work on it, but for the most part, you're gonna find me about 5-10 minutes behind a little bit. My clients know it. But like I said, man, so speaking of that, I'm gonna have to exit this joint. I get the venting again. Y'all know how I get. So I need to stop myself. So it's been a peaceful build, been a peaceful dialogue, peaceful interaction. I appreciate all the comments, appreciate people supporting the book, appreciate everything, man. I appreciate y'all as always, man. So I'm about to get out of here, go to the gym. I got 3 classes, got to kill the clients. Y'all know how I get down. I'm gonna be posting a lot more of my workout videos as well, so y'all can have some workouts to do at home or at the gym. I'm gonna be doing all of it. But y'all stay tuned. I'm gonna either be on here Tuesday or tomorrow or Wednesday or both. Y'all know how I do it. So y'all be easy, man. Y'all enjoy the rest of this Monday. Y'all think positive thoughts. Y'all be productive. Do something productive. And also think powerful thoughts. It's a trilogy. Positivity. No, matter of fact, we're gonna add a 4th one to it. Peace as well. So we got positivity, we got peace, we got productivity, and we got power. Focus on those 4 P's, y'all. I'm out. Y'all be easy. Peace.